Hi, I'm Nick Garcia, and this is After the Fame, After the Game, Baron Davis edition.
All I've ever known.
Baron Davis was once known for his explosiveness off the dribble and his scoring ability. But what doesn't get talked about enough is how this great guard went from NBA stardom to just a forgotten NBA star. Born on April 13th, 1979, Baron Davis grew up in Los Angeles, California, where growing up, he actually didn't want to play basketball. It wasn't until Baron Davis's grandma, Layla Nicholson, pushed him into playing the sport of basketball. And that's where he found out he was actually pretty good at the game. Not soon after falling in love with the sport, Baron Davis went on to attend Crossroads High School, which was a prestigious college prep school in the Santa Monica area of California. And after a great senior season, Davis was also named Gatorade National Player of the Year. He was also selected to play in the prestigious McDonald's All-American game, which was held in Colorado Springs in 1997. And also in that McDonald's All-American game, he was playing with many future NBA players, such as Eldon Brand, Shane Battier, Larry Hughes, and Ron Artest. So after a great high school career and a fantastic senior season, Baron Davis got many Division I offers to great schools, such as Kansas, Georgia Tech, Duke, and UCLA. And after a long, hard decision, he finally made his choice to attend UCLA, where he would stay there for 2 years while averaging a nice 13 points with 5 assists a game. However, in his first season with the Bruins, Davis would tear an ACL in the NCAA tournament after coming down with a vicious dunk. He did, however, make a fast recovery to 100% health in his second season with the Bruins. After his final second season with the Bruins, he would go on and win many awards, such as AP Third Team All-American, First Team All-Pac-10, Pac-10 Freshman of the Year, Pac-10 All-Freshman Team, Great Alaska Shootout All-Tournament Team, and the UCLA Athletic Hall of Fame in 2016. And after finishing a great college career, Baron Davis decided to go on and attend the 1999 NBA Draft, where he would go on and be the third overall pick to the Charlotte Hornets. Baron Davis spent about 6 years with the Charlotte Hornets, where he low-key balled out. He had a 2-time All-Star appearance, he became a 2-time NBA steals leader, and he averaged about 14 points with 7 assists with the Hornets. And his time in Charlotte was well spent, but he was soon traded to the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors and the Hornets would come down to a trade agreement, where they would send point guard Speedy Claxton and center Dale Davis to the Hornets for exchange for Baron Davis. But he would go on and have a second revival with the Golden State Warriors, because alongside Jason Richardson, Davis would average about 20 points a game with 4 assists. In the 2007 playoffs, as an 8 seed with the Warriors, they would go on and beat the first seeded Dallas Mavericks in one of the most craziest NBA playoff series of all time. Just hear how Golden State Warrior fans were going off in this playoff series. Yeah, it was that crazy, and Baron Davis was absolutely going off in those playoff games. And that's just to show you how much of an impact Baron Davis was making with the Golden State Warriors. But the playoffs wouldn't end great for them, because they would go on to play the Utah Jazz and Darren Williams in the next round, where they would lose 4 games to 1. Then sadly, a season later, Baron Davis would soon find himself returning back to his home in LA and playing for the Los Angeles Clippers. But this is where his career started to slow down a bit, where he would only average around 14 points a game with the Clippers. It would soon end with him leaving to Cleveland and playing for the Cavs the next season. But things wouldn't last long in Cleveland. He would then find himself leaving just after 1 season with the Cavs. He would then find himself heading to New York, playing for the New York Knicks. However, he was coming off as a bench player, averaging about 6 points a game with the Knicks. But he was a pretty useful role player. But then, Baron Davis would have a tragic end to his career. In a New York playoff run against the Miami Heat, in Game 4, Baron Davis was running down the court, before falling and tearing his ligaments in his knee. And this would be the final NBA game of Baron Davis's career. He would then get released by the New York Knicks and wouldn't return back to the NBA. However, he did make a little bit of an NBA comeback. He would come back and play a couple of D-League games for the 76ers, but that wouldn't last long because he would be let go by the 76ers' D-League team. After this, he would never make a final comeback to the NBA. However, he still plays in many Pro-Am games alongside Jamal Crawford and Kyrie Irving. But since his latest Celebrity All-Star game, he hasn't really been active in the NBA community. He only really appears on sport talk shows from time to time. But no matter what anyone thinks of Baron Davis, he will always be a great point guard that many young people should be looking up to. I know this really didn't have anything to do with Baron Davis's career, but it's kind of funny. Because in 2013, driving from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, Baron Davis said he was actually abducted by aliens. When being interviewed about it, Baron Davis would go on and say, "Yeah, I was actually abducted by aliens 2 weeks ago." Like nothing even happened. When being asked for details about this, he would go on to explain he was driving from Las Vegas to Los Angeles in the early morning. And this is what happened. He said, "I see this light, and it's a big truck." And I said, "Oh, this is just going to be traffic." Davis would then say he was just driving, and the next thing you know, there's a steel thing. And these crazy looking people, half human and half ugly looking people. He would go on and say more. They were poking me on the nose, looking at my eyes, and they even had my hands tied up. And next thing you know, I was on the road again, burning rubber on the way back to LA at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Actually abducted by aliens like 2 weeks ago.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was on my way from Vegas here to LA, and I'm driving. You know, like the windy road.
Yeah.
When you're coming in, like that's like on this like crazy slant.
Yeah.
So I'm a little tired, and I see this light, and I think it's a big ass truck. You know, like like it's gonna be traffic, and I was just driving. And next thing you know, dude, like I was in this like steel thing, and these crazy looking people, like half human, half like ugly. It's like,
we don't know if you're being serious.
Up until this point, you've been such a cogent and right
like,
down the middle.
They were poking me on my nose. And shit. They were poking me on my nose, and they were like looking me in my eyes. They had my hands like tied up, and then next thing you know, like I was in Montebello, dude, like burning rubber on the way back to LA. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning.
So yeah guys, I don't know if this part is true, but it is kind of funny. Because I don't know if he was really abducted by aliens, but it seems to me he was just probably drunk. I don't know. However guys, this is gonna end the video for today. Like and subscribe for more, and comment down below what you actually think happened to Baron Davis. This has been After the Game, After the Fame, Baron Davis edition.